Hello YouTube, Skinwalker coming at you with my second episode, the benefits of Airsoft. What I mean by benefits of Airsoft, I can list at least about 10 reasons, 10 benefits of why you should be in Airsoft in the first place. And not just be telling you about the several different benefits, I'll be focusing on 10 benefits of why you should be in the sport in the first place. And we'll start off with number one. You'll be gaining more knowledge on how to use firearms, not just for airsoft guns, but in a later day basis of in the future, you'll be able to understand how firearms work in the future. And airsoft is a catalyst for obtaining that knowledge. For instance, this looks like a real gun, but this is my airsoft gun that I use in the field. Oh man, this brings back a lot of good memories. I gain more knowledge by using this gun thoroughly and actively whenever I go out and play airsoft. And boy, there are more parts when using a firearm as well. I can only list at least about a few of them, but since we're on a time basis right now, so I'll just keep going. You'll be gaining greater knowledge on how to use a weapon. Well, firearm technically. And airsoft is basically a catalyst for obtaining that knowledge. As I said before, benefit number two is gaining more respect on firearms. Whenever you're using an airsoft gun, there are certain rules and regulations that all players must abide by in order to have a good time. So too as this practice goes into actual firearms as well. And as a friend once told me, there is no such thing as a weapon or a firearm that is not in an unloaded state. Professional shooters always know, they always practice to know that a gun is never unloaded. They always treat the gun as loaded. Same thing goes for an airsoft gun as well. There could be a BB that is in the chamber and it's accidentally fired off into someone's direction. Yes, that can cause to injury or can cause it to be fatally as well, which we don't want, okay? That's why you're gaining greater responsibility and respect whenever you're using a firearm, and in our case, airsoft guns. And that's why we're going to go through this in the guide as well. In order for us to be respectful toward firearms, we're going to be more respectful to our BB guns as well. They do have that potential to kill a small percentage, but that small percentage within itself can cause to fatal injuries and as well as a fatality. And if we're not responsible with our BB guns, we can never really be responsible for the actual firearms unless we're in the hands of professionals and as well as people who are in that vicinity of being respectful towards firearms. Benefit number three is simple. You'll be strengthening the airsoft community, which is something that we need, especially in these times. Truthfully, there are not that many of us around, especially how I started 2 years ago, I believe. Especially with my group's biggest event, Final Sage, which is also done at Sage Wars. We started out with 80 players, which was 40 on 40. Yeah, that was a big battle. And now our latest game was at least about 20, 10 to 10. That number really got significantly low. You'll be benefiting yourself just by joining with some squad or with some other airsoft community on different social media sites. But in all, you'll be strengthening the airsoft community as a whole. It's one of those sports that it really doesn't get much, publicity. But fortunately, through your commitment within the sport, our numbers will definitely get higher, which is I'm really hoping it will. Benefit number four is that you'll be making new friends. That's just straight out. You'll be making new friends who just love this sport as much as you do, or as much as you will in the coming days. In all, you'll be making new friends. And for me, like I said in my first video, I have more friends than I did in high school. That is the solid truth right there. As my philosophy kind of goes, the more friends you have, the more happiness you bring to their lives and within yourself. Benefit number 5 is that once you're in airsoft, you'll become physically more active than any other sport, which is, I'm sorry to say, because every single time I go out and play, it feels like I'm giving 110%. From my experience, I've sweated more, I shedded more pounds, and I've been growing more muscle by being in this sport rather than being in football, basketball, volleyball, or possibly even cross country as well. My last game here in New Mexico, I was giving more 110%. I was sprinting faster, I was climbing up a hill much faster, and I was carrying more pounds on my loadout. But after that game, I was sweating bullets. But it was a great feeling, even throughout the whole entire experience. Airsoft is a more physically active sport, in my opinion. For instance, we're doing more verbs than all the other sports combined. We're running, we're jumping, we're sprinting, we're going prone, we're crawling, we're shooting, we're aiming, we're thinking. It's just a number of verbs that we are doing just by one small half a square mile of land. And I can say it's a lot. It's really a lot. Even at our last event, Final Stage, even though it was 10 guys, we were holding a small, you could say square foot of land, I want to say. No, wait. Square yard of land, and we had to travel from point A to point B, which was a long distance, by the way, and it was sandy too. The sun was beating on us. We didn't have that much water, so yes, it was more physically demanding than any other sport than I've participated in the past. Benefit number 6 may correlate to benefit number 5, but I'll explain. Benefit number 5 states that you are physically active. That basically means that you're not as lazy as you used to be, and you're not as slow as a turtle trying to get from point A to point B. Your mind is basically telling you, we got to get there ASAFP, as soon as possible. A little swear word, but who doesn't swear on YouTube? As I stated, benefit number 6 is that you'll become more physically fit by participating in Airsoft. For instance, when I started this game, I was fat. I mean, we're talking about lard or fart, or as I used to say, Fatty McFarts a lot. I mean, just a big person, a really mucho grande. And within those 2 years, I built more muscle. I feel more better about myself. I've improved several aspects of my life. The doctor told me that 2 years ago I was close to heart disease, but now I am nowhere near it. So yes, Airsoft pretty much made me the man that I am today. And if you're like a big guy like me and you really love guns, you're really interested in the military, then more power to you. Get into this sport so you can improve yourself like I have. Okay, benefit number 7 is plain and simple. You'll be doing a lot for your character by meeting a veteran, i.e. men and women who serve in the United States Armed Forces. Personally, for me, it is an honor to be in the presence of a veteran. And first of all, I like to say thank you to every single veteran out there. And don't be intimidated by them. They're as human as you and me, but they just have more experience, and as well as a bigger, broader view of history, because they literally lived history. You'll be benefiting yourself more by meeting a veteran. That's as good as it gets, especially here in America. Benefit number 8 is that you'll be learning skills that our ancestors have learned so many years ago for the sake of their own survival. What I mean by that, well, in the short term, you'll be learning survival skills. As I said before, you'll be in the outdoors as much, and you'll be able to obtain knowledge of how to survive in the outdoors. Benefit number 8 is probably my highest and most important one of all, is that you are becoming a good guy with the gun. In all, by participating in Airsoft, you are becoming a good guy with the gun. A person who would put himself in harm's way to protect others for the sake of others by use of a firearm. Enough said right there. And finally, benefit number 10. You will be in a sport in which it will test your honor and as well as your commitment. This sport will test your honor, which I mean your honesty and as well as your respect towards others. And also, this sport will test your commitment to this sport. And like I said before, those who commit are those who love the sport for the sake of the sport. As the old saying goes, the most committed are the ones who are more victorious. Alright, now, those are my 10 benefits of Airsoft. I'm still releasing content later in the future, so bear with me. And I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and hope to see you out in the field. This is Skinwalker, signing off.